Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Nurse Babe Britt, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys how I got into nurse practitioner school. So if you're thinking about becoming an NP, then this video is for you. So stay tuned and listen for more. Alright, so for starters, I am in a BSN to DNP program, so I currently have my BSN. So no, you do not have to have your MSN to go back for your doctorate. There are programs out there that have BSN to DNP Pathways. And so the pathway I chose is the Acute Care Adult Gerontology Nurse Practitioner. So basically what that means is that I focus on the critically ill patient. So it's more inpatient. That's not to say I can't work outpatient, because I do know acute care NPs that do work outpatient, but it's strictly focused on the adult population. So that's 18 years and older, all the way into, older years. So I don't focus on pediatric kids, babies. I don't do that. That is not really what I had an interest in. And so I know I told you guys before, I work in the CV ICU. That's my background. So I've always worked with adults, and so that's what I wanted to stick to. So the program I chose is a 3-year program, and so it's only an extra year compared to the master's program for the acute care NP route. And so the first 2 years of the program is basically focused on our DNP project. And so it's like a huge evidence-based project where you have to come up with a topic that you want to research. You have to implement interventions. You have to, implement it into a certain population, whichever population you choose to focus on. And then over time, see what those results are. That's kind of in a nutshell what it is. And so it is a group project. I know some programs you do have to do that whole project by yourself, and it is a lot. So I am glad that the program I am in is a group project. So it's between 3 to 5 people in a group. And like I said, the first 2 years focuses on that. And then the last year we do our specialty track stuff, which is focus for acute care. For me, if I was to do family, it would be all the family stuff. If I was to do psych, it would be psych stuff. So that's pretty much a rundown of the type of program I chose. So when I applied, I did have to write an admissions essay. And basically the topic was, why do I want to be a acute care nurse practitioner? So it was specific to the program that I applied to. And so, in my essay, I put why I wanted to be an acute care nurse practitioner, and also what I plan to contribute back to the field. And that was essentially the topic. It wasn't too hard. And I feel like a lot of programs are like that. If you have to write an essay, that's typically the topic for at least the nurse practitioner programs. And so the GPA requirement, I'm pretty sure it was a 3.0 and above. And so they had an option where I could take the GRE or I could not take the GRE. And so if you had a greater than 3.2 GPA, then you did not have to take the GRE. And so I had a greater than 3.2 GPA for my undergrad year, so luckily I did not have to take that test. So I just applied. I had to submit all of my transcripts from whatever school that I've ever gone to. For in my case, it was just 2. So I submitted 2 of my official transcripts. I also had to send proof that I took a descriptive statistics course. And I feel like a lot of NP programs are like that, where you have to take that course, or even if you're thinking about doing anesthesia, a lot of grad programs are like that. And so I did take statistics in my undergrad years, but it was the title at the school that I took it at was a little different compared to the school that I currently go to. And so what I had to do was I had to go all the way back and find a catalog for that year that described the course and sent that to them. And so that way I was able to get that checked off. In the event that the class was not acceptable, then I would have had to take in a descriptive statistics course prior to applying to the program and getting accepted into the program, because that was a prerequisite requirement. Other than that, I did have to have 3 letters of recommendation, and so I chose people that could speak to my work experience. So they're, a nurse practitioner that I work with at work, and 2 other coworkers, senior coworkers that I work with at work at my job. And so that was that was sufficient. So that's what I submitted, and I'm not sure, I never got a chance to ask them like what it was like as far as like the link that was sent to them, what they had to fill out. But I think it was maybe like a short essay type of thing, and maybe some questionnaire questions like, you know, rate this person's ability to do this. And so I think that's pretty much what it was like. But like I said, I didn't ever ask. Other than that, let's see, I had to do, so the GPA requirement, the transcripts, I had to submit proof that I took the statistics course, I had to do an admissions essay, and then that was pretty much it. And so it took about a couple of months for me to hear back, and luckily I got my acceptance letter, and so I started this fall semester. And so this is the conclusion. I'm wrapping up this semester, my first semester of grad school, and I will tell y'all, it was a huge adjustment. Like my first week 1, week 2, it was a huge adjustment for me. I was starting to question whether I really wanted to do this, because I am a travel nurse. I already make, you know, a great living. And so I'm like, do I really want to do this? But I do. And so I chose nurse practitioner, you know, because I actually care to provide care to patients, and it's not just so much managed care. And I feel like that's what we do a lot at the bedside. We manage the orders that we're already given, and I want to be a little higher up in that, and I want to provide care to my patients. I want to be able to catch patients, you know, a little earlier on in their disease process. And that is why I chose nurse practitioner over so many other options, you know, versus anesthesia, because that is something I thought about, you know, doing the CRNA route, but I learned that it was not for me, and I learned that from shadowing an actual CRNA, at least not at this moment. It's not for me. That's not to say I would never sign up for a CRNA program, but right now, you know, the nurse practitioner program is where my heart is. And so my first week or two, I had to remind myself of why I signed up for this and look at the bigger picture. Now, I do think it is very much so manageable to work and go to school at the same time, at least in the program that I am in. Now, my final year of this program, I will do updates, so you guys will be able to follow me through this journey. So that might change. But the first semester, I feel like it was very manageable. I work full time. I actually work full time as a travel nurse, and I also have a PRN job. So I have 2 jobs, and I have school on top of that. And I don't feel stressed out about it. I feel like everything, they give you your dates up front, that everything is due, like your deadlines and what's coming up. And a lot of things you can get done ahead of time. You don't have to wait until the week of to do it. A lot of things is already unlocked for you to see it. And so the courses I took this semester, I just took 2 courses. Most of the semesters are 3 courses, but this semester was 2, and they were focused on, you know, scholarly writing and just learning how to write as a grad student, as a nurse practitioner. That's part of the doctorate portion of the program. So you don't get that in a master's program as much as you get it in a doctorate program. So they're very heavy on writing. So if y'all don't get anything else from this video, if you're thinking about doing a DNP program, just come prepared to write a lot. That includes discussion posts, that includes essays, group projects, individual assignments. You're going to write a lot. And so for me, I'm like, oh my God, I've been out of school for a while, and you know, it was a lot in the first couple of weeks. But if you take it a day at a time, a week at a time, or whatever works best for you, for me, I take it an assignment at a time, then it's not so overwhelming. And so what I did was I printed out the course schedule for both of my courses that had all of the deadlines on there. And because I'm more of a visual person, so when I got something done, I was able to check it off. And so I could see the progress. And that helped me not feel so overwhelmed. Another thing I did was, if I was able to get something done ahead of time, like let's say a discussion post, and it was unlocked for me to get done ahead of time, then I would get that done, and so I wouldn't have to worry about it, you know, and I could just, you know, be living my life. And so it is very much so manageable, and it's doable. Just don't wait till the last minute to do things, because like I said, it is a lot of writing. And so sometimes I get up very early in the morning, maybe 6:30 in the morning, and I'll start on my assignments before the sun even comes up, and before I know it, 5 hours has gone by. It's like lunchtime, and you know, I'm at a good stopping point where I can finish. I've either finished that assignment, or I finished it for the day. Like, that's all I'm going to do. And so that's typically what works for me. That might not be what works for you, but for me, I have to get up early and I have to, you know, eat my breakfast and I start my assignments. And I like to do it that way so I can have the rest of the day to myself. And that's what I typically do on my off days. I am a night shift nurse, so it's not hard for me to get up that early. A lot of times I'm already up. And so by the time I'm getting tired and I'm getting sleepy, you know, I'm finished doing whatever it is I have to do. So I am getting ready to move into my second semester. This semester isn't quite over, but I've submitted like a couple of my last assignments, and it has been a great semester for me. Like I said, it started out rocky. It was a huge adjustment because your first week, it's like everything gets unlocked on the first day that classes start. And so it was just getting organized, making sure I had all my books that I needed, and of course just getting readjusted to being back in school. But personally, I chose the BSN to DNP route because eventually I knew I wanted to achieve the highest degree in my field. And so I could have gone back and just done the master's route, but later on I knew, because I know me, I would want to go back and I would want to get my doctorate. And so it just added on an extra year for me compared to the master's. I'm not in a huge rush, so it's not like a rush process. And, you know, it's not like the DNP route makes you a super nurse practitioner. You learn the same clinical skills as you would in a master's program. The difference is the quality improvement component. And so as a DNP, they prepare you for that so you can implement change and, you know, implement interventions in whatever field you decide to work in, whether that's inpatient, outpatient, ICU, emergency department, whatever. You can be someone who can, you know, implement change and contribute to quality improvement, and that involves patient care. That could be in a management position, that could be in so many different aspects. And so that is why I chose the BSN to DNP route. So I hope you guys found something in this video helpful for you. You know, I just want to explain my journey because it's easy to make videos of, okay, well, this is how you do this, and this is how you do that, and this is how you get into school. But I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know, like, I am actively doing it. And so when I make some of these videos, it is coming from a lot of personal experience. And so if this is something that you're thinking about, then I do 10 out of 10 recommend it. And you don't have to be thinking about acute care. They have these same programs for F&P, psych, you know, if you want to just do women's health, you know, it's so many different, you know, specialties that you can choose, but you can still do the BSN to DNP route or the BSN to MSN route. So, you know, that's just something I wanted to let you guys know. We are all mixed together. So, you know, everybody that I am in class with is not acute care MP students at this point in the program, because like I said, the first 2 years is focused on your doctorate you know, coursework, and so you're mixed together with everyone. And so I've had the opportunity to mix and mingle with people of different specialties and different backgrounds at orientation and throughout the classes and the courses. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment them below. Again, my name is Nurse Babe Britt. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on so you can be the first one to know when I post my next video. Thank you guys so much.